Well, problematic darlings, what's up? It's not Saturday night fever, it's Friday night fever tonight. I just got off work. I was off from one job today, had to work the other. I never have a full day off. Never, never, never. Stop looking at me. Um, Never. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having a blast. And I hope you're having a blast of a weekend for you 12 people who will watch this video. Listen, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much to the people who watched my last one, long form video, the Goldie Hawn video. I actually got 1,200 views. I am shocked. The one before that, about J Law, about her movie review of her movie, got like 140. But hey, I'll take whatever I can. Thank you for joining me. I know you could be doing other things. Tonight, I want to review and talk about. When I say review, I'm not really. It's my review, but it's really me talking about the film, and it's one that really has lasted a lifetime. Saturday Night Fever from 1977, starring John Travolta, Karen Lynn Gorney, Donna Pescow, Fran Drescher, and a lot of other people. But let's get started, shall we? Or do you want to talk about something else? So Saturday Night Fever was released around November or December of 1977, and it starred John Travolta, whose work up until then had been a lot of TV movies, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, and of course Welcome Back, Kotter, which we all love him from. It is said that he got $1 million to be in this film, but I don't know if that's before or after the residuals. I'm not quite sure about that. How much everyone got paid has always been really interesting to me. But John Travolta plays Tony Manero, who is a 19-year-old Brooklyn king of the local disco. And if you have ever experienced the club life, the 1970s disco is pretty much how it was in the 80s and the 90s. I know because I was there, not the 70s, but in the 80s and 90s, especially the 90s, I definitely was. In 2000s, there's always someone who's like kind of the belle of the ball, be it a female or a male, and that's John Travolta's character. He works at a paint store by day, lives at home with his parents and grandma and little sister, and his older brother is like a priest, and he just rules the dance floor. Interestingly, John Travolta tutored with Denny Terrio from Dance Fever and learned how to dance, and he did all his own dancing. Um, I have a couple of favorite characters from the movie. Donna Pescow plays Annette, who is madly in love with Tony. She's like the typical Brooklyn girl, the heavy eye makeup, the great body, tight dresses all the time, and she wants to be in the dance contest. There's a dance contest coming up, and Tony says he'll join it. He'll be in the contest with Annette. Donna Pescow, but she's crazy about him. But she kind of doesn't know if she's a good girl or a bad girl. And that those days are in this movie. They called the bad girl. I'll see you next Tuesday. And he tells her at one point, "Are you a see you next Tuesday, or are you a good girl?" She's like, "I don't know." That "see you next Tuesday" was what we would say, "Hey ho." That would be like short for ho today. Um, but she's beautiful in this movie, and she would later go on and star in a successful TV series on ABC called Angie. I don't know if it lasted a season and a half or two full seasons. I loved the show. I was a kid. I loved it, and I loved the whole premise of the show. Robert Hayes was her co-star. He, of course, is from Airplane and was married to the once great Cherie Currie. Not so much anymore. Google her to find out why. Um, but my favorite character from the film, and one who gets such a bad rap, is Stephanie Monaro, played by Karen Lynn Gorney. Karen Lynn Gorney's best known work was as Tara on All My Children, who was Erica Kane's arch rival. And I only remember very little of her coming back and visiting later in the 80s a couple times. I don't remember the Erica Tara storyline, but I just know through word of mouth that those two characters hated. They played teenagers. Those two characters did not like each other. Anyway, never in my life, I say that, but Karen Lynn Gorney gets such a bad rap for her accent, her dancing, and the way she looks in this film. I love the way, first of all, her accent is awesome. She talks just like a girl from Brooklyn would talk from that time. she totally has the character, and she knows what character she's playing. Stephanie is a character who is pretending to be something she's not, a really sophisticated, moving on up type of girl. And she is moving on up, but she was once just like Tony in the lower ranks, and she really, really judges him. I love her accent. You're nothing. You're going nowhere. What is it she says? Visions of you got visions of grandeur. You know, I just love her voice. I love her accent. Ooh, I love her accent so much. And the hairstyle, the clothes. Let me tell you something. I had two sisters who were teenagers in the 70s. The way Carrie Langorney looked, that's how those teenage girls dressed and looked. That's how they wore their hair. There's a big age difference between me and my sisters, and that's how they looked. I think she's spot on. And people just criticize her so much. Yes, I believe John Travolta was 23 and Karen was like 32. John is playing a 19-year-old. Karen is playing a 20-year-old. But I think it works. I don't know. There's something about it that works. You know, she's playing a hardcore, you know, Brooklyn girl. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what people really wanted. I mean, some have said that Donna Pascal and Karen Langorney, their characters should have been switched. I don't think so. I do think that Donna Pascal was a better dancer than Karen Langorney, but I think Karen, the parts that she dances, I think she's just fine. Um, there's an interesting part of the plot that I'm going to get into for a moment. There is a pretty. It's not. I was about to say it's not that brutal, but any form of essay is brutal, whether it's like the essay in Showgirls or the essay here in Saturday Night Fever. This is a if you've never seen Saturday Night Fever, this is a little bit of a I'm going to tell a little bit of a plot. So Annette, because Tony John Travolta jilts Annette Donna Pascal, she decides to kind of she does some I don't know if it's ecstasy, black beauties, I don't know what kind of pills it does. She gets really, really high and she has a gangbang with all of Tony's friends. And, you know, Tony really lays into her. But one part of it, she is essayed by one of Tony's friends. And it's really, really sad. And it's really, really real. And it's funny because back then, I don't recall people talking about it very much. Today, people would go ballistic and, you know, constantly talk about it. There's also a scene where Tony attempts to essay Stephanie, and that kind of is towards the end of the movie, and it's very interesting what note they end on. But those things weren't big deals back then, and obviously times have changed, and they certainly are now, and they should have been then too. Um, so the film ends. Stephanie and Tony win the dance contest, but Tony doesn't think they deserve it. He thinks that a Puerto Rican dance couple deserved it much more. Um, and so he gives the prize money to them. And Stephanie, you know, that's when he attempts to essay Stephanie, and she, you know, goes home. She lives in New York City. He's still in Brooklyn. And something happens between Tony and all his friends, and it's pretty tragic. Um, it ends with him going and visiting Stephanie, and Stephanie is now living in an apartment that is owned or rent controlled by her, what we would call a sugar daddy. And he doesn't really know that when he meets her, he just thinks she's a sophisticated, hot, awesome, hot to trot girl. But she's just trying to make it in the world like him, and she's trying to do good on her job, and she has a sugar daddy. But it's his apartment, and she's basically moving in there. Anyway, um, he goes and visits her, and you know they pretty much. People say that they decide just to be friends. I don't see that. I don't see that they decide to be friends. I think the continuation of the movie. I mean, of course, the continuation of the movie is they actually had a relationship because it's very obvious that they were in love. He fell in love with her, and she was in love with him, but they were just both trying to move up. And in the course, there's a sequel to the movie, Staying Alive. I forgot what I was saying when the camera cut off. But Cynthia Rhodes plays his love interest, and the great Finola Hughes plays his love interest in Staying Alive. It's okay. It's not as good as Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever is the 1970s. If you ever wonder what it was like in the 1970s, watch this movie. The New York accent, the clubs, the clothes, the polyester, the hairstyles. Oh my God, the makeup. They did this unusual eyeliner. I think it was. I don't know. It's like brown eyeliner, and it's like in the middle of, not certainly not like mine. It's interesting the way they did their eyeliner. It was always brown. Of course, the soundtrack. I asked Google, was Saturday Night Fever the most successful film soundtrack of all time? No, of course it's The Bodyguard, but Saturday Night Fever is the second most successful. Dirty Dancing's the third. Pretty Woman is like seventh or something. Anyway, Saturday Night Fever is the most successful soundtrack album of all time. Made the Bee Gees, seriously, Barry Gibb and all them millionaires. Everyone that's on the soundtrack gets royalties and stuff, but it's of course nowhere near as much as the Bee Gees, because it's pretty much their album. The lasting effect of the movie, it's one of the greatest films of all time. And, people talk about disco ended in 1980. I remember this film well into the 80s. People watching it, renting it, talking about it, seeing posters at the mall of it. Maybe disco was no longer big on the charts. I mean, it was for Donna Summer and the Bee Gees, but it was still, this movie remained famous for a really, really long time. I love the movie. I love what it represents. It's a moment in time and captures, and that's what I mean when I say I love what it represents. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's fun and tragic, and it's really a time capsule, and you really, really go there. And if you ever wonder what New York was like, check it out. Thank you for watching, and thank you for tuning in to me. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you're having fun. I hope your spring is off to a good start. We're still cold here, and I'm wearing my summer shirt. We're still cold here in Maryland, but hopefully that'll get better soon. I'm off to Atlanta this summer. I can't wait. So anyway, have a great next couple weeks, and I will see you soon. In the meantime, go out and get you some. Oh my God. I forgot to tell you, one of the best parts of the film, one of my favorite parts of the film. Hey, who's that? And who's that? 1998, 2026. 1998, 2026. One of the best parts of the film is that Fran Drescher plays a girl in the club that they go to, Disco 2000. If you don't know who Fran Drescher is, I don't know what to tell you. The nanny, but she plays a girl named Connie, and she grabs John Travolta's ass in the film. And what's interesting about that is that wasn't in the script. Fran improvised that, but that's just awesome. My favorite part of the film, just a little boop boop.